Good evening, everyone. Mary Esther Gilbert here, back again. I hope everyone is enjoying their holiday season and staying healthy through it all. This is the time where, unfortunately, a lot of health problems crop up. And so I just was worried about everyone, and I thought I would drop in a few words of encouragement to make sure that you stay away from all the junk that might damper your holiday spirits, or hopefully nothing tragic will happen to anyone. I hope and pray they do happen, and I've just been kind of worried about all of you out there. So those of you who have been following me and just following my system and getting healthier, then you can maybe help others realize that these holiday food preparations can be either contributing to a health problem or exacerbating one or triggering one, God forbid, or, just having everyone be energized and feeling great, even after the meal that you might or someone else might prepare. So I just wanted to give people a few quick pointers, and I wanted to go over some pretty major things that have been on my mind, and I just want to share with you. I gather a lot of information, and sometimes I think, oh, I've got to share this with my followers. I've got to share this with my subscribers. I've got to write this down and put it in a book somewhere. But yeah, these are the kinds of things I'm going to be going over. Hopefully not too drawn out. I recognize that people are very busy, and but with videos, you can always put it on pause, or if it's like on my channels on YouTube, you can just go back to where you left off, right? So anyhow, I hope this gets to everyone, and everyone enjoys their holiday and gets through the holidays in good health and feeling great. Okay, so today I just want to cover the subject of becoming aware and awake. There's a lot of sinister things going on in the world, as you know, and so there's a whole lot of the population that just wants to build heaven on earth. That's always been the case, right? All we want is love and peace and harmony and health vibrancy for all the population, and no crime. you know, Nothing wrong with just having that as our everyday goal, right? We are powerful manifestors. We are creatures that are highly evolved and created by a higher source. Call that higher source what you want, but I call it God. And of course, I believe that Jesus came here. He manifested as a human being from the higher realms of heaven, where our omniscient creator God, loving God, comes from, and that we are his children. Those are my personal beliefs. So being the Christmas season, I thought I would just put that out there and talk a little bit about that. So what I have found, that when someone becomes healthy through my guidance and my consultations and my books and courses and whatnot, they, like I've said before in many of my other videos, they elevate in their health vibrancy, not just in their physical health, but in their spiritual enhancements and their awareness of suddenly understanding a lot more about who they are and where they're going and their purpose in life. And all these wonderful things come together in a vibrantly healthy human being. So I've seen this phenomenon happen over and over again over the last 45 years. And I just keep going over it because it's just so astounding, even to this day, after 45 years of doing this. And I just want to keep spreading the word, So when someone becomes diminished in body, mind, and spirit, it's usually because their physical body is poisoned or toxic or diminished in its functioning of various body systems. And, we're not, it has not been spread to the masses, this kind of information to keep everyone healthy and thriving. So I've always been quietly, with my practice for 30 years up in Northern California, quietly just healing my clients and trying to stay out of the limelight, because so many holistic doctors and well-meaning and well-qualified employees of health food stores, other holistic practitioners have been shut down by these sinister forces, that do not want the human race to thrive. And they've got their reasons, and that's a whole nother, video that I cannot disclose here on YouTube. But if I were to take that up over at Rumble, where they have free speech, then, I can go into a lot further. But for now, I'm just worried about the human race, that how many of you out there are truly experiencing health improvements and taking it as far as true health vibrancy. So discovering your own higher human potential involves raising the vibrational frequency of your cells. And I've said this before in my other videos, healing the soul spirit, going on this journey to advance oneself spiritually, physically, and improving their lives and being of service to humanity in however small ways possible or however large ways are possible in your life. So like attracts like, if a person is suffering and has a very narrow view of their world because of their physical and spiritual state of mind and state of health, that's not going to bring them a lot of happiness, a lot of possibilities in life. But when a person becomes healthy, then the possibilities open up. There are infinite possibilities, and one discovers that they are able to actually manifest change in their lives just by actions, yes, but also starting with the thought or a feeling. And this is very, very important. This is something that I've been discovering in recent years, how to manifest what I need and why I would wish for myself in my life and for others, especially those that are closest to me. We want our loved ones to also be happy and truly healthy and vibrant, and just be feeling very purposeful and productive in their own lives. So elevating the mentality from this perspective of lack to one of abundance manifestation is something that I want to kind of dwell on a little bit tonight. So, I've had some mentors in the past. Greg Braden is one of my favorites, and I followed Esther Hicks for a while. She's very unique in how she presents and how she encourages people to really analyze what they're thinking and how their thoughts can manifest either something good in their lives or something bad. So everything we think about and everything we focus on actually reinforces that and attracts to us. This is not something new. I'm not a guru in this area. I've just been practicing what it feels like to be a vibrantly healthful spirit soul in this physical body, in this realm, and just really keeping my heart focused in the right place, including whether I'm building wealth or if I'm just building my own health, or sharing knowledge with everyone the way I'm doing on this channel. So this is something that we have in ourselves that we can actually practice and realize that gift that we have has been hidden from us. We've been sort of deprogrammed and diminished in our own belief of our own skills and gifts and our ability to create a world that we want rather than what we don't want. And being that it's Christmas time, I don't normally do this on my channel, but revealing a little bit of my faith here, I would like to share with you just a couple of Bible quotes. From Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. So even though you may think, well, how am I going to manifest something? I have a dismal situation. How am I ever going to get out of my financial situation or any other situation that I'm unhappy with? Keeping the faith and that vision from the heart is something that people need to practice, because we have it in us to make the changes. We don't know where the change or the help will be coming from, but it's amazing how suddenly things will appear in your life that seem miraculous. Something we can be truly grateful for and recognize and praise God for, because this is all about the oneness in the universe how we are all connected to this God being that has manifested himself or herself in many, many ways throughout the multiverse. It just gets broader and more vast and more awesome when you gather some of these facts that even the physicists, the scientists have been discovering for generations now. So all is starting to be revealed to the public as to merging the science with our spirituality, knowing that it's all talking about the same thing. And you can look at it in terms of your own personal religion, your own spirituality outside of any religion, your own experiences, your own transformations, whether it's health or spiritual or both, it's all one. So having the faith both in your own imagination and your vision and your heart's desire, and keeping that faith and actually moving toward this kind of goal that you want to manifest in your life. There's another Bible quote that I picked out, James 1:8. If any of you lack wisdom, you should pray to God, who will give it to you, because God gives generously and graciously to all. But when you pray, you must believe and not doubt at all. Whoever doubts is like a wave in the sea that is driven and blown about by the wind. If you are like that, unable to make up your mind and undecided in all you do, you must not think that you will receive anything from the Lord. So you can call it the universe, the conscious, very loving universe that is actually conscious, So, this kind of spirituality, this kind of belief in something greater than ourselves has been with humankind for as long as humankind has been around. Okay. It's not something new to feel a special spiritual connection to something greater than ourselves or to be a part of this greatness. So this is the kind of thing that's been bred out of people, have actually been made people to feel that it is, almost shameful to even admit that you have this belief, right? It's ingrained in us. It's physiologically in us. And so there's been a lot of scientific research pointing to the fact that our DNA is more than just, making proteins or directing all these different functions in the body, so much more than that. So it's a matter of realizing that we are not stuck in this place, that we can manifest a world that we want. So breaking through this matrix, and not allowing ourselves to become robotic or taken over by technology. Technology has its place and it's great, but when it starts getting out of hand and governing us and ruling us, or just influencing us away from God, then that's something that we truly need to be aware of and be very careful of, not allowing the negative side, the sinister side of technology to take over. So, and the same goes with money. We have to put money into perspective. In this world, the system is set up so that we need money in order to survive, thrive, in order to live, and so we have to put that in perspective as well. But it's energy. Everything is energy. When you look at the subquantum energy level, everything, matter suddenly disappears. Everything is moving, and molecules and atoms, and the quantum world, everything is just energy moving very, very quickly in this light frequency. So we have to, when we put that into that perspective and we keep that in mind, we have the power to move this energy. Wherever we focus, whatever we desire, we can change things. Okay. So if you're focusing on a hurtful past, a traumatic past, and you keep thinking about that and keep hurting with it, it's going to keep reinforcing itself in your body and manifest in so many ways, disease process, just depression, just really diminishing your spirit. So focusing on what we want and taking steps toward that, however small, doesn't have to be huge. It's very painful to break out of that matrix. And just being conscious of it is the very first step. So being conscious of your own thoughts and what you're telling yourself, what you're telling the universe, If you're saying negative things about yourself, then the universe is saying, well, okay, if that's what you want to create, then that's what you're getting. And so basically that's how the universe works. So, just we want to be free of this kind of enslavement and exploitation. And I have found that when someone gets optimally healthful, following my system, then that's when they begin to truly live and make better life choices and wonderful, profound changes, and things are attracted into their life that they really want, and their lives change. So it's all about moving that energy, whether it's in your cells, nourishing your cells, or just taking steps, action toward wanting the changes you want in your life. So, just re-examining all these perspectives about wealth, moving energy from your own higher good, and, all those things that are involved. I say just make a plan and work the plan. I heard that from Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 70s when he was a young bodybuilder breaking into the bodybuilding world. I was breaking into the bodybuilding world myself. I was starting to weight train and discovering how much more fit and strong I felt, and how much better I felt about myself. So those were, my early days of discovering what I call a holistic approach to fitness, and how that contributes toward elevating your spirits and your cells so that they're vibrating in tune with the universe. So we're in this flow of life that keeps happening, and whether we drop out of it, and experience the negative things, or we stay in the flow of true health vibrancy to experience what the universe can do for us and what we can do for everyone else around us. Just by being our higher selves, we are very powerful beings in helping others elevate also. Okay, so just re-examining everything and making a plan, working that plan. And of course, life gets in the way. Some things interfere with those plans, but get back on it as soon as you can. During the holidays, it throws me off track. And every holiday throws me off track. And I love the holidays, and I love my family and my friends. However, I have a purpose in my life, and I am passionate about my work. So I'm always eager to get back on to, just creating the projects that I love to create. So every single day, I try to be conscious of my purpose in life and who I am and why I'm here. Everyone is here for a reason, whether they are here to experience the miseries of life or here to experience the love and the joy of life. I don't believe personally that everyone should stay in a state of misery and disease process or disease conditions. I think that the spirit is very strong, and we should pay attention to what we wish for and focus on. So turning thoughts and ideas into reality, that's the thing, keep the focus and the faith. And that reminds me, there's some keys in the Bible. There's some keys, some key points to wealth and prosperity in every part of your life. And that's through diligence. Stick with it and dig in and find the information you need. This is your life you're talking about. You are the artist. This is your canvas. And so, you can change that canvas, or if you start out with a blank one, fill it with what you love, what is meaningful to you, and find your purpose. Just jotting down the things that you love and the things that you don't want in your life. Writing your own life story, literally writing it down. And you'll find when you go back to it years later, like I did, when I was 30, I wrote down everything I wanted to do in my life. And when I was 40, I found it again, and I'd already accomplished, much of those things on the list. And so a few years later, I dug it out again, and I had already accomplished, and then some, all the things in my list. So apparently I had been working the plan, it was something I wanted to work for. And this happens with so many people out there who get it. And if you don't get it yet, that's all you have to do. Take the first steps. I know it's hard. I know it's scary, but improve your health first, and you won't feel so vulnerable, and things will start moving for you and all of that. Just make the plan and do it. You will not regret it. There will things that will come into your life, people that will come into your life, situations, and you will have choices. you can make those choices that are for your own higher good and therefore for the higher good of all of those around you. They may not understand, but in time they will when they see the results and they see that nothing can take you down. No harsh words, no, cynicism or criticism, people who just don't believe in you. Just never mind about that. It's their own fears talking. Those who encourage you are already there. They understand what it's like. So they will be the ones that will help you and encourage you. All right. So, but your opinion is the most important opinion. So if you have a poor opinion of yourself, it's time to change that. You are one of God's light in this world. You are one of God's children, and he don't make no junk. I heard that years and years ago when I was a kid, and so I believe in that. I believe that totally and completely. So, here are the other keys to biblical wealth and prosperity in every part of your life, besides diligence, is to seek God in everything. Everything is sacred. Everything in your life is in gratitude. Everything in your life is beautiful, full of love and light. Surround yourself with that feeling as much as you possibly can, even if it's difficult. Seek righteousness, do what's right and feel what's right. Put that righteousness into your life every day. Defend yourself, defend others, just defend God. Don't let anyone insult you. By insulting you, you're allowing them to insult God, this whole entire loving universe that we are immersed in and part of. And so, walk in his ways. That's something that I've tried to do. Of course, no one's perfect. We all have flaws and we all have regrets. Of course, we've made some mistakes in our lives that, ooh, I wish I hadn't done that. If I could just turn back the time and do that over kind of thing. Just what would Jesus do kind of thing. He's been my example, but and I have failed. I'm only human. We're not perfect. We're trying to ascend. We're trying to be godlike. Some people think that we are already, since we are part of God, an extension of God, we are already God. I don't know about that. Oh, well, that sounds okay, as long as we try to rise up to that impossible standard. But walking in his ways, I think, well, what would Jesus do in this situation? That always has helped me. And I'm not preaching. I'm not imposing on anyone's religion or religious beliefs. These are just my beliefs at this Christmas time that I just wanted to talk a little bit about. And what makes me click, people think, okay, what is she all about? She gives us all this technical information about health and everything, but what is she really like? I think my whole life right now has become a prayer. When someone says, please pray for me or pray for a person for me, I'm honored that they think I have more power, to pray for someone, but we all have to pray for each other. We all have to imagine and bless each other with all this optimal vibrancy of love and in this existence, and that helps eliminate those sinister forces that are always trying to impose on us and bring us down. Okay, so developing one's faith that way, faith in yourself, and by doing that, I believe it increases your faith in God, or vice versa. It's all one. It's all the same. So anyway, I just wanted to go off on that little tangent there. So how true health vibrancy and true health mastery prepares someone for contributing toward a better world, discovering that personal potential, your passions, your gifts, and your talents, and your be happy contributors in transforming our civilization, what others might call pie in the sky dreams of what you'd like to see in the world. We actually have the power of turning our thoughts into reality. How many of your thoughts have you actually turned into reality? When you were a kid, you wanted a certain thing so badly, and eventually it came into your life. Or, you were hoping for a better communication with someone and better friendship or personal relationship with someone. And in putting yourself in that higher place, did it manifest? Or Was it for your higher good not to have it manifested? We also have to pay attention to that too. It's all a balance, and we have to learn to tune in, pay attention to what we're doing, what we're attracting, and what we're manifesting. Okay, so in Mark 11:24 in the Bible, it said, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. That's something that I really had trouble with a few years ago, but I kept at it, and miracles happened, what I consider miracles, just things that came up that solved a problem. So sometimes you do have to put that faith in the forces that are greater than yourselves, as long as you have that faith that you will receive it. So, keeping in mind that life is a unique journey, everyone has their journey. And I think that Earth is a place where volunteers come to learn those hard lessons, to gain the wisdom through our trials and our tribulations, maybe even atonement, in order to gain the wisdom and the strength and the ascension to our higher selves. Our higher selves are probably always there, but if we have been deterred away from them, distracted away from them, deprogrammed away from our higher selves, then it's our job to try to get back what is rightfully ours, our God-given right to our health and happiness. So that brings me to the scientific part of it. It just triggers, something that I wanted to throw in there is activating more of our dormant DNA. Scientists have called the unused portion of our genetic codes as junk DNA, but yet more and more knowledge and science is coming out to reveal, or maybe it was always there, but truth has a way of spilling out. And now I think is an era in human history where truth is starting to come out leaps and bounds. It's just leaking all over the place, and it has it's like that cascade effect. Once something small happens, it starts getting larger and larger, has a snowball effect. So activating more of our dormant DNA is what I've seen happen, what seems to happen with someone who goes from being in a very unhealthy state to their health transformation into a vibrantly healthy state. So, just activating more of their dormant DNA seems to put them in a higher place. Seeking knowledge, learning to distinguish real truths, developing and learning to acknowledge and trust their instincts, people's instincts. We have been deprogrammed or programmed to not trust our own instincts. How many times have you felt your whole body saying no, in a situation, or having this uneasy feeling? Your body's trying to tell you something. Every single one of our cells is connected to our heart and our brain, and they're all interacting. So this whole system is very conscious. Our brain isn't just the only thing that thinks and sends signals to the other areas of our bodies. So we have to pay attention to that and learn to trust that. So seeking knowledge, learning to distinguish those real truths that we feel. Yes, we can still be cerebral, we can still be logical, we can still make logical decisions. However, if something inside us is telling us no against our own thoughts, then we need to pay attention to that. How many times have you thought, oh, I should have listened to my instincts? I had that gut feeling and I didn't pay attention to it. I learned the hard way many times in my life. And now, in recent years, I've been practicing just paying attention to that. So, I mean, your body can even tell you when you're in danger. There's been times that I've been out in hikes, and not accompanied by anyone. And so going into the canyons here in Arizona or out in the desert or in the mountains where I have felt like I was being watched, and sometimes when maybe could have been a predatory animal or a predatory human, who knows, right? That was watching me. And so I made sure that I didn't wander too far. Once I started feeling like that, I started thinking, well, I may not be in danger, but something is watching me. So once you start developing that kind of instinct and that kind of skill, then you'll be very sensitive to things like that. You'll be able to tell, what a person is feeling on the inside. When you meet someone new, if you are tuning into those instincts and turning them back on again in your DNA and practicing them and revealing this to yourself, then you can actually in a very empathetic way, almost clairvoyant way, using the New Age terminology, if you'd like, you can actually feel a person's feelings to a certain extent. You maybe not be able to be psychic and read their minds. That probably is something that we can develop as well. Yeah, there's a lot of science behind that too. That's the science that's been hidden from humankind and instead replaced with ways to be very skeptical or to ridicule, those aspects, those lost arts, are maybe not so lost. People are still practicing that, and it's not associated with something evil, which is another way that people have been led to believe that so many things are evil, things that are actually tools that are actually part of our skills and embedded in our own DNA, in our own spiritual, just makeup, who we are. So much of us has been hidden from us. It's like we're a species that has amnesia from all of these wonderful instinctual, gifts that we had possessed before they were deprogrammed out of us, or made us feel guilty, or, made us not think they were credible. So, I hope you're keeping an open mind to this, because, I'm the kind of person that I don't like to stay with one vein of information. I like to gather as much information as possible to solve this mystery of life, why we're here and what makes us tick, not just physically, but spiritually as well, and how it all comes together. This is something that fascinates me. And, I've been seeking information, just gathering data, not necessarily absorbing them into my belief system, right? But just trying to solve this incredible puzzle of who we really are. So anyhow, I suppose I can show you, I'm going to go back to it. There's a link of how, like, Greg Braden, he has, I don't know if you've seen his videos, but he has actually discovered or dug deep into science on how the genetic code in our DNA is encrypted and has been deciphered to say God, God in the body, a God eternal in the body is what it said. So, and if that spells that out in our genetic code, then who are we? Where do we come from? And who is God, really? So that's fascinating to me. I hope it's fascinating to you too, but hope it sparks you to go on to do your own research. I can't possibly, gather years of research and put it into one video, as to why I've arrived at my conclusions. Everyone arrives at their own conclusions, whatever resonates with their DNA in their own personal journey, on this planet. Okay, so that's what's so hard. Sometimes you want to communicate and share information with people, but their perceptual filters are just clouded with so many other bits of information that they've gathered in their life, and it may not jive with what you're trying to convey. That can be very, very frustrating. All we can do is communicate from the heart silently. We don't have to say anything. People will feel our love. They will feel the positivity radiating, emanating from our biophotons, the pinpoints of light energy frequencies that are permeating throughout the body and outside of the body, extending out to the universe. So we have a language that is unspoken, between humans. That's another thing that's not been reinforced in humanity. And I'm saying all of this because when people get wealth, when they get healthy and well through my system, they actually start experiencing these higher realms of thinking and feeling, and they go off and start exploring their spirituality on a whole new level. It doesn't conflict with their religions or their spiritual views. It works very, very well, with it, is what I have found. So it's all about protecting this sacred code of life, our very DNA. That's so much more than we've been led to believe. So, preparing ourselves for this new era in human history, we all want truth, love, and I feel like we should have a holistic based civilization, government, schools, education, everything that has been distorted in our world can be brought back toward this truth and love and harmony and good feelings between, goodwill toward men and women, and not destroying people's emotional, psychological, and spiritual health. This kind of thing. Creativity and innovation has its place. Everyone should be free to create and contribute to a much better world, and which it should enhance our true fundamental freedoms, as human beings, as children of God, our God-given rights, and therefore our quality of life. So in Mark 4:22, it says, "For nothing is hidden except to be made manifest, nor is anything secret except to come to light." Okay, so in other words, we have to uncover the truths so that we can feel free to create a world that we want. And anything that has been secret in the past and kept from us is now coming into light. These are biblical times. It's not a secret that things are seeming more and more that there are forces at work that are greater than ourselves that are changing the world right now and changing humanity. In Luke 12:2-3, "Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. Therefore, whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in private rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops." Have you noticed in the news, all this evilness is starting to be exposed, and more and more. They're, of course, the evil entities are trying to hide what they've done, right? They're trying desperately to hide what they have done to humankind and to human life and life on earth. But truth always leaks out sooner or later, and now is the time. It's truly an amazing time to be alive. So anyhow, I just wanted to share something with you, if I may. I'm going to share my screen here in a moment, if I can. Trying to copy and paste a link. I clicked on it, but it did not work. Okay, you should be able to see my homepage of my website there, and this is the short, article that I wanted to share with you. How the scientists have discovered the double meaning in the genetic code. And there's some science out there, hasn't been revealed to us yet. I believe there's more science than is being allowed to reveal to humanity right now. But even those factions are being taken down. Truth, again, is more powerful than the lies and the propaganda and the psyops that we've all been exposed to. Much of our lives that we're discovering have been somewhat lies, And so true health is what helps reveal the truth, helps people discover the truth. And that's what I call awakened. So the University of Washington says that scientists discovered this double meaning in our genetic code. And I love the way they word it. So I'm just going to read it to you. "Scientists have discovered a second code hiding within DNA. This second code contains information that changes how scientists read the instructions contained in DNA and interpret mutations to make sense of health and disease." No surprise there. A research team led by Dr. John Stamatoyiannopoulos, University of Washington Associate Professor of Genome Sciences and of Medicine, made this discovery. So the findings are reported in this issue of Science magazine. And of course, if you, I can post this in the description once I complete and publish this video, which you're already watching, obviously, but I will include this link so that you can look at the research paper if you want to go, dig into that. So, but he summarizes here, "The work is part of the Encyclopedia of DNA Elements project, also known as ENCODE. The National Human Genome Research Institute funded the multi-year international effort. ENCODE aims to discover where and how the directions for biological functions are stored in the human genome. Since the genetic code was deciphered in the 1960s, scientists have assumed that it was used exclusively to write information about proteins. University of Washington scientists were stunned to discover that genomes use the genetic code to write two separate languages. One describes how proteins are made, and the other instructs the cell on how genes are controlled. One language is written on top of the other, which is why the second language remained hidden for so long. For over 40 years, we have assumed that DNA changes affecting the genetic code solely impact how proteins are made, said Yiannopoulos. Now we know that this basic assumption about reading the human genome missed half of the picture. These new findings highlight that DNA is an incredibly powerful information storage device, which nature has fully exploited in unexpected ways. So that's what I wanted to get to. This quote right here really rings true for me. You know, it's a storage device in so many ways. It's multidimensional also, which isn't mentioned in this article, but in my research, I have uncovered a lot of people who've come forward, not necessarily whistleblowers, defying the non-disclosure agreements or anything like that, but people who have actually been able to share some real science behind who we really are in our holographic nature in the higher dimensional realms that we actually exist, but we can't see because we're stuck here in the third dimension, So this is something that I am so fascinated about, and I just wanted to share that part with you, just to let you know that there are people out there, scientists out there, that are delving and exploring all about who we truly are at the light energy frequency level, at the higher dimensional realm level. So we are so much more than we've been led to believe. But yeah, like I said, I'll post this link at the bottom of the description box here. And if you want to go explore that, then by all means, please do. So anyhow, that wraps it up for tonight. I just wanted to share a few things, from the heart. And it's a spiritual time for me. Christmas is always a time to celebrate the birth of the human being that manifested, or our God that manifested in the form of human being here on this planet a couple thousand years ago, and just taught human beings how to love again and how to love one another and be of service to each other. All the wonderful things that Christ taught humanity is still vibrantly alive and well today. So whatever else is happening that's trying to stomp that out, I say let's not allow it. We are truly vibrant beings that have been cheated out of our optimal gifts and talents, and it's time to call them back and start utilizing them again, and really being the force to be reckoned with, and not allow us to be exploited or utilized for only a small percentage of a population's profit. It's time to take that back. We are amazing. You are super beings, and that's how you were made. So let's get back to that, right? All right, so I just wanted to show you the books that I still have going here on my website. They are ways for you to reach that higher self, that higher manifestation of who you truly can be in your highest health vibrancy, reversing that disease process and nourishing those cells, the multiple trillions of cells in your body, to restore their optimal functioning and health vibrancy. So True Health Mastery is an introductory kind of book that I wrote some years back that is very handy to just give you an overview of all the things that I've been teaching. So I always present books in the hardcover and the ebook form, so you have two choices there. Nutritional Synergy is my system that I developed many years ago, and have utilized it because it is so much more thorough nutritionally and has much more healing value than the other food systems out there, including the ones put out by the government. Those are nutritionally incomplete and very, excuse me, very misleading as far as eating a healthy diet. So this will clear all of that up. So it will literally light up your cells, to your higher self, just by nourishing the body properly and choosing foods from my 14 category system that will put together much greater health vibrancy meals for you. So that's what this book is all about. I go into detail about it. Here's a video just describing the book. And then I also, being in the bodybuilding world, I took 3 years of ballet and I was into yoga and I discovered weight training back in the 70s and have loved it ever since. It transformed my self-confidence and my strength, my inner strength, my physical strength. It has truly given me so much more energy uh, physically and spiritually in developing the strength that I needed in my body and soul, kind of thing. So I wrote this book, Eating for Physical Power and Stamina. And again, you can get the hardcover and the ebook. I should say soft cover. It's not a hardcover book. It's just a paperback kind of thing. Okay, then I produced this monster of a book. It has over 100, has 109 botanicals in it. And I dove deep into the scientific literature and really produced scientific monographs that will outline all of the healing qualities of 109 botanicals. I do have another 150 botanicals lined up for volume 2, but I have other projects underway that I will get to in time. But in the meantime, if you want to change your health and really select the foods that are truly healing and health restoring and return you to health vibrancy, then you might want to take a look at this book. Okay, it has an encyclopedia. There will be some technical, information in there. So I built an encyclopedia into the book so that you know what the terms are. You'll run into terms. It's hard to stay away from the science when you're describing your nutritional physiology. Uh, Protecting your DNA from damage and really just protecting your connection to the higher sources of the universe, kind of thing. Okay, so I do see that connection when people get well. They have that extra spiritual connection that so enhances their already spiritual beliefs, kind of thing. So here's the paperback cover, and here's the ebook. So I just wanted to share that with you, and I wanted to wish everyone a very happy and healthy Merry Christmas. Try not to use the wrong fats, don't use the fats that clog your arteries. Use real fats, animal-derived fats. Keep them in the right proportion and percentages. Provide lots of fresh fruits and vegetables, salads and fresh fruits, berries on your table to help digest, the meats that you'll be serving, unless you're vegetarian or vegan. But yeah, and the side dishes, use a lot of herbs and spices to flavor them and just stay in the healthy part of things. And you'll feel so great throughout the holiday. You'll have more energy too, to carry yourselves through the holiday season. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone, and Godspeed to all. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.